My husband has spent the last year replacing normal words with his own made-up language, and after begging him to just talk to me like a normal person, I finally lost it. My husband has always been a bit goofy, giving his own names to things and doing impressions. But about 18 months ago this started to increase a lot. It's now a constant presence in our lives and I'm finding it seriously difficult to live with. For some examples, he has his own name for most retail outlets, professionals, and organizations. Like he will say Eat Your Greens, instead of Walgreens, and he'll say Sharts and Gobbles, instead of Barnes and Noble. He has about 30 to 40 everyday words that he insists on using in place of normal ones. He'll say Scuppers, with a rising whistle at the end, which means yes. And a Bing, with a descending whistle, which means no. He'll say Bagayaya, which means good night. He constantly does weird sound impersonations, not like celebrities or characters, but a single noise that's a made-up sound or something childish like a fart from a children's TV show. He speaks random words like garbage or douchebag whilst burping or farting. He has made up names for our friends which he uses sometimes even under his breath when we're out with them. For example, Pam and Will is Pig and Wig. I've just had enough. We got into bed the other night and I said good night and he said Bagayaya in the high-pitched voice he always does it in. I snapped and asked why he couldn't just speak to me normally and he just laughed and came right up close to my face and did it again. His whistling is constant. He speaks to our kid in this stupid language and I'm worried it's going to confuse normal language development because he changes the word so often. Our toddler could be about to hurt themselves and instead of saying no or come here, he'll say some ridiculous made-up word or sound and then get annoyed when our kid doesn't know what he wants. He's normal in other respects, works in finance and is totally professional around his colleagues but different at home. I told him it needs to stop. I don't mind it occasionally or for fun but it's all the time and it's wearing me down. He got upset and said I couldn't take a joke and that I'm not fun anymore. It's true that I've become more irritable and noise-averse since we had kids but I'm so worn out and over it and just want him to relate to me like an adult. Added to answer some of the frequent questions. 1. I do not believe, but am not health qualified, that he displays any symptoms of Tourette's, autism, neurological disorders etc., and hasn't ever done despite this. 2. He is physically well by all measures. He is for sure not having a stroke or significant physical health event. 3. Yes, I can see this could be a reaction to stress. 4. For those asking why I married him, he did not do this, to this extent before we had kids. Occasionally yes with the occasional name or words but not this regular. He is amazing in many ways but this one thing is now too much for me. I don't feel it's right to discount him or throw out the whole marriage because of it but it does need to change. 5. He will not go to therapy. 6. We have discussed it calmly. Previously, he did not take me seriously or make changes. He sees this as funny and just a joke. I agree that we need to talk more. 7. Yes, it can be funny occasionally. I am not trying to spoil his fun. I also need an adult partner at times and for him to stop when not appropriate. Relevant comments. Commenter, I do this kind of stuff a lot, mostly the one about imitating stuff from shows. I quote random TikToks all the time, make weird noises to myself, etc., but I'm more than capable of cutting it out if I have to. I used to say my guy all the time until it became a habit. I don't know about that one, my guy. Alright, my guy. That one specifically drove my ex up the wall, and when he told me he hated it I made a concentrated effort to stop saying it. The fact he doesn't do this around other people shows he's more than capable of knocking it off when required, and that he's aware, at least on some level, that he's doing it. The only thing I can suggest, given that your husband doesn't seem receptive to an adult conversation, is that you refuse to engage with him unless he speaks properly. Like if he says Scuppers, or whatever it was, just act confused and say sorry. Was that a yes or a no? Basically don't react to these weird made-up things he's saying and show him you're not going to play ball anymore. OP, thanks. Yes, I think this is a plan. It's been going on for so long now that I don't often have to ask for a translation anymore so I tend to still reply to his nonsense. I'm going to stop answering unless he speaks normally. OP makes an update on the same post, 8 months later. It's been several months since I posted this, so I thought I'd come back to update. He eventually agreed to get checked out, which confirmed no neurodivergence and no other health concerns. Just him. Completely normal, except for the fact that he refused to act like an adult at home. We were referred for marriage counseling, but he wouldn't go. I pushed, I explained, I begged, and he still refused to take anything seriously. At some point I realized I totally checked out of this relationship. One commenter told me to say Bagayaya to this marriage, and that's exactly what I did. I ended it. I won't pretend it's been easy but I'm slowly rebuilding my life. And honestly, this post was just the tip of the iceberg. The deeper I dug, the more I realized how much of my energy had been spent managing his nonsense. His behavior escalated after I left, and in one last glorious act of self-destruction, he managed to insult several of our closest friends to their faces. It all spiraled into complete hellfire, and I just sat back and watched. No more explaining, no more fixing. I'm out, and I'm at peace.